Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Quercus.
And I'm Alex Stopinski.
The Mississippi River crested on Monday at a near record high following weeks of flooding along downtown Davenport. Though it is receding, water still completely covers River Drive in Davenport. Buildings are surrounded by sandbags and even HESCO barriers in hopes of keeping streets and businesses dry. Not everyone was so lucky though. With modern Woodman Park completely surrounded by water, SAU's baseball team were forced to relocate their games for the rest of the season. But the National Weather Service and the community are glad the flood has hit its limits.
As soon as the snowmelt crest recedes here in the Quad Cities area, we should be just at regular river levels for the rest of the year. Well, some of that will depend on how much future rain we get. So if we have a relatively dry May, I do expect that we should be back below flood stage.
Wilson says the river's crest of 21.4 feet in Davenport was slightly lower than what was predicted for the Quad Cities area.
After more than 30 years in publication, SAU's creative arts journalist Quercus has gone digital. SAU's Grant Mason shows us how.
For over 3 decades, you can find copies of the annual Quercus all around campus. And you still can, at the touch of a button.
It's really great to be online now. It makes it a lot more shareable. I think in the past when we had the print issues for Quercus, it was nice to see them all over campus. You could just pick up the physical copy, but now you can share on social media. You can share beyond the campus, I think, much more easily than we were able to do before with just the print issues. And so that's kind of an exciting thing to have kind of a broader audience or potential audience.
And there are financial advantages to going online as well.
Now we get to have a very high quality journal, and it's beautiful, the website that we've created, but it also is much more cost effective than it had been in the past with print.
And it can draw more student submissions, even some with video and audio.
But to have students, I think, beyond who are working outside of those areas have an outlet for the creative work that they're also doing. I think it's a great way to bring people together. It's a great way to show to the campus and to the community that we've got this really wonderful range of talent here at St. Ambrose.
With SAU Weekly, I'm Grant Mason.
Thanks, Grant. You can find the new volume of Quercus and all of its archived editions at SAUquercus.com.
On Wednesday, St. Ambrose held a retiree recognition and end of the year social, celebrating 6 staff members who will be retiring at the end of this school year. Ranging from 10 to 35 years of service between these staff members, each were recognized for their devotion to the SAU community. Retiring after 35 years, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Paul Cook, had this to say about the recognition.
I have such deep passion for the mission of this university. It's part of who I am. I feel like I've grown up here over the last 35 years. But I also recognize it's time to hand it off to the next generation of leaders and employees at the university to serve our students well.
For the first time in history, SAU President Dr. Amy Novak announced the recipients of the Presidential Award for Staff Excellence, which was presented to KALA Radio Operations Manager Dave Baker.
SAU students can find a pickup game of basketball nearly every day in our Wellness and Recreation Center. But last Sunday, students were playing for a bigger cause. SAU Weekly's Abby Varkelis takes us there.
The dribbling of a basketball and the squeaking of shoes can be heard every day in the WRC. But today, students were there for more than just basketball.
It's just something fun to do on a Sunday afternoon. Me and my friends play basketball at the rec center from time to time, so it was fun to compete against other teams.
Hoops for the Homeless was a charity event created by one of SAU's very own.
So I created Hoops for the homeless community downtown in Davenport, and Cafe on Vine is a big helper of us, and I volunteer down there every Tuesday morning. And I just see a lot of people in need, and I thought this would be a great way to do it and have people have fun and donate to the cause.
Students had the option of donating $2 or 2 canned goods in exchange to play a basketball game. The collected donations will be sent to Cafe on Vine, an organization committed to feeding the homeless in downtown Davenport.
It's also for a good cause, Hoops for the Homeless, so we're sure to bring our canned goods and our cash just to make donations and get out, break a sweat, and have some fun for a good cause.
Win or lose in the end, every player was satisfied to know that they were helping their community. For SAU Weekly, I'm Abby Varkelis.
Thanks, Abby. Hoops for the Homeless brought in 50 canned goods and raised $150. Plans are already being made for next year's donation drive.
Coming up next in sports, we sit down with members of SAU's men's lacrosse team ahead of their trip to nationals. And we get a look at our upcoming football season at the annual spring preview game.
Join SAU Weekly's Grant Mason as he takes you inside of SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
After a huge win at home over Mount Vernon Nazarene in the Hart Conference semifinals, men's lacrosse hit the road looking for a little revenge against William Penn in the Hart championship game. The top-seeded Statemen won the regular season matchup 9-7, but the Bees were ready for this one. Down 1-0 early, Matt Cortopassi shakes a defender and finds the net to tie it at 1. Later in the first, we're tied at 2 until Isaiah Hahn gets it to Mikhail Shaddix, who scores. Bees lead 3-2. Just before halftime, it's Cole Danner scoring to give the Bees the 5-4 lead and momentum heading into halftime. That momentum would carry over just minutes into the second half. It's Michael Chakrin fighting through traffic to score. The Bees would score 5 times in the third quarter. In the fourth, it's Michael Keating putting the game away with the last of his game-high 4 goals. The Fighting Bees win 14-8 to claim their first ever Hart Conference title and are heading to the national tournament. Joining us in studio is SAU Weekly's Ryan Schistel, speaking with assistant men's lacrosse coach Devin Caesar, who was just named the Hart Sports Conference Assistant Coach of the Year. Ryan?
Thanks, Grant, and thank you for being here today, Coach.
Thank you.
As a first-year assistant coach, what was it like winning the Assistant Coach of the Year award?
Well, honestly, it was pretty crazy. I didn't think it was going to be an award. I was very happy to get it, but really, it comes with all of our coaching stuff together. Our face-off coach really helped out a lot this year. Our other defensive coordinator, Coach Dylan Witt, helped out a lot this year. Even our student manager, Johnny Ock, he did a lot this year, and it wasn't just me, so I just want to give it out to all of them just before they give it out to me, because it's just a huge thing. I think it should be more of a staff award because we all did a lot as a staff this year.
What is the mindset like going into nationals?
I think the mindset this year is let's just get the first game under our belt. Let's win it. Let's think about the first game first. We've been down to nationals 2 years in a row last year, so this is our 3rd year. We're looking at that first win in the first round, go to the semifinals, get that win, go to the championship, get that win. So just looking at the first game and steady ahead.
What's the biggest difference been between being a coach this year and a player last year?
I think the biggest difference is not getting that physically drained, physically hurt like a lot of guys are feeling right now in this late part of the season. As a coach this year, it's good that I feel that I know that what they're going through right now since I had that for the past 2 years. So it's really helpful for me to get them in the right position for them to best succeed on the field.
Well, thanks again for being here, Devin. Good luck at nationals. We'll take a short break and be right back with senior midfielder Pat Flynn.
Donate, connect, dance.
The St. Ambrose University Dance Marathon Organization is the largest student-run philanthropic group on campus. SAU students, called dancers, raise funds for children and families suffering from pediatric illness at the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. Various fundraisers are employed throughout the year, culminating in the big event in the spring.
Being a part of Dance Marathon is bringing some light and some happiness and some fun to some of these families local in our area that have been treated or are currently being treated at University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. And it's really nice just to kind of give them a break from that, and kind of get to know them closer.
The big event takes place in the Wellness and Recreation Center at SAU, where students dance for 13 hours to celebrate children who have conquered their illness and honor those who lost their fight.
If you are interested in joining Dance Marathon and becoming a dancer, email dancemarathon@sau.edu for more information.
This legacy, their lifetime.
Joining us now is senior Pat Flynn, a midfielder on the men's lacrosse team. Thanks for being here, Pat.
Thanks for having me.
So it's the first conference win in program history. What did it feel like when the clock hit zero?
Pretty unreal. It's something you don't really think about ever doing, especially when you've gone twice and losing. You just kind of run out there and you're like running around with your guys and you're like, who do I grab first? Who do I hug? You don't really know. You just kind of go with the flow and kind of just try and soak it up. To be honest, I can't even still process it. It's still unreal.
So you guys lost to William Penn in the regular season. How good did it feel to get revenge on them?
It was pretty good. That's a big rivalry in the conference, and we've been, I don't know, kind of going back and forth all year, just kind of with taking shots at each other, and to go over there, go in their home field, win the championship, and not just kind of beat them by a few, beat them by 7. It's pretty big. It's a big statement, and it's just a good win for the boys.
So you're a senior on the team this year. What's your plan going forward?
So I just got accepted into the Master of Science in Criminal Justice program. So I have 2 more years of eligibility. So I'm coming back, getting my master's and playing, and hopefully bringing back a couple more championships and maybe a national title.
Well, Pat, thanks again for being here. Good luck at Nationals.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Grant.
Thanks, Ryan. Honeypot 5, the Honey Heist, is an event run twice a year by the SAU Esports team and has been growing since its first outing in 2021. It includes fighting games like Super Smash Bros., Ultimate, Guilty Gear, Strive, Tekken 7, and more. SAU Weekly's Cooper Alt highlights last weekend's big event.
On Saturday, the Putnam Museum saw a record-breaking number of honeypot competitors, hosting over 350 players from 15 different states.
I would say it's going really well. Everyone's having a fun time.
But a lot of competitors means unfortunate upsets. While some may be disappointed with the results, a lot are happy with their experience.
I unfortunately did not make it into the top cut bracket. However, I learned a lot from the opponents that I played, and I got an experience to fight against people that I really wouldn't get to play against.
Dash Tech not quite doing a great DI from Skittles, and now the bomb delay, yes!
With a flood of players, volunteers donated their time to help with check-in and even security needs.
We have multiple people, we have staff here, in our staff we have security crew, we have check-in people, we have pool captains, we have head TOs.
With the success of this honeypot, many are already looking ahead for the next esports extravaganza, Honeypot 6.
I believe that this event can grow larger and improve in so many different ways to create a new scene here in the Midwest and more specifically here in the Quad Cities.
Skittles is your Honeypot 5 Grand Finals champion.
With SAU Weekly, I'm Cooper Alt.
Thanks, Cooper. The esports team will host the Battle for the River this weekend. You can catch the bout between our Fighting Bees and the Augustana Vikings on twitch.tv. Saturday was a great day for football at the St. Vincent's Athletic Complex. The Fighting Bees took the field for their annual spring game. With head coach Vince Phillips starting his second season, he's excited to see his young team learning and putting in the work to hopefully pay off in the fall.
Improvement's been really, really good. Obviously, we're going to be a young team. We knew that kind of coming into spring ball, so being able to get a bunch of reps into young guys into our program was kind of priority number one, and obviously you get to do that when you stay healthy and get through all of spring ball that way.
Be sure to take a look at the football schedule for next season and come watch our Fighting Bees this fall. Over the weekend, the women's golf team participated in the Viking Invitational at Highland Springs, Rock Island. As a team, the Bees took fourth place, shooting 83 over par. Individually, the Bees had 2 golfers in the top 10. Catherine Spear tied for second at 10 over, and Amara Little took 10th at 20 over. The Bees now have their sights on the NAIA National Championships later this month.
Our team does not settle for sure. We are improving. That was definitely seen at the Highland tournament. We just played our number 1 and number 3, Catherine and Kara, just had their personal best. So seeing them definitely encourages me to want to do better. And yeah, there's definitely room for growth.
The men's golf team also took part in the invite. The Bees took second place as a team at 20 over, just 2 shots behind the champions Wartburg. Individually, Dylan McAleer tied for second at 3 over par. The best golfer of the day for the Bees. Close behind, Tim Markham took 4th at 4 over, and Jacob Rude took 5th at 5 over. And just this week, Owen Holtman was named CCAC Men's Golfer of the Year. And head coach Jeff Griebel was named CCAC Coach of the Year. It was a great season, and Griebel is already excited for the next season.
But I got a good nucleus of good players back, and I think that we'll be very competitive next year, and we're really looking forward to the next season coming up. Yeah. It's all about the players. I mean, they make you look good as a coach. I mean, if they make their commitment and do well, which is what we had this year, any accolades that I get are based on their performance.
To see the full interviews with our men's and women's golf teams, check out this week's episode of Inside SAU Athletics on the SAUtv YouTube channel. That'll do it. For Inside SAU Athletics, I'm Grant Mason.
That's all we have for you on this edition of SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAUtv Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also follow them on the Hive at SAUthebuzz.com.
With finals week quickly approaching, students will get the chance to visit the lovable therapy dogs once again. But in case you can't make it, enjoy these furry friends. Thanks for watching.